Everybody, welcome to the RSN Wrestling Podcast, the most must-see podcast. Whoa, wait. This isn't Miz TV. This isn't the Ambrose Asylum. This isn't the Stone Cold Podcast. This is RSN Wrestling Podcast, the
We are
shoot,
we are the wrestling podcast.
the wrestling podcast. My name is Sal. I'm the mastermind, as you probably know. And on the other line, we got Rich, the big guy.
What's up, guys?
So today, Rich, we're here for our bi-weekly shoot. By the way, if you're on YouTube and you find out, that there was no shoot uploaded yesterday or, last week, it's because, or, the week before, it was because we went ahead and, we posted it on our SoundCloud page, which link will be provided in the link inside the description later on today. But also,
Sorry, guys. We have to show love to other sites.
Yep, that's right. We also, we got a whole bunch of stuff. So as you know, there's a lot of platforms. By the way, I know that you run the RSN Podcast Twitter page, right? We got one, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes. So inform the audience about that, man. Because I know you're the guy for that.
Well, basically, as Sal has told everyone in the previous 10 podcasts and the shoots that we have done, that I have a underground train that goes to one headquarters that we will not say the name because who knows, this might be taken down for copyright infringements just by saying the name of the place.
That's right. We should, at this point, since we've been banned by WWE or all this other stuff, might as well say it. Fuck it. But
All right.
we might as well call ourselves the Renegade Podcast because apparently
That's not a bad one.
right?
That's not a bad one.
The Renegade Podcast. But
we still go by RSN.
RSN, you can say the R in RSN stands for Renegade, So
True.
It can happen. You never know.
So I have an underground train that goes to Stamford, Connecticut, to the WWE headquarters. I go in there. I drink something, eat something in Triple H's office. I raid his little filing cabinet, get some news. I don't clean up the mess because why would I? Then come back and I reveal all the news to you guys.
That's right. And up to this point, Rich, you've given us, pretty much news that have stirred up some, some things that have still, rattled the brains of people.
I actually do have something that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so I know you were telling me about this. Yeah. So yeah, let it out. Let us know. Well, before we do that, we can't forget about our last.
There's that site.
Yes, we have that one site by this guy. His name.
What the hell is the name? What the hell's the name of that site?
Trying to find out. Well, all I know is 3 letters, right? It's not NWO.
It's not TNA. It's not ROH. It's not NXT.
It's not WCW. It's not Fuck the Owl.
It's not
which
Raw.
we'll be talking about later today. It's not Raw.
It's not SDL, which is SmackDown Live.
It's not AML. It's not West Coast Wrestling or WCW, I guess, in a way. But
it's the guy's name. His name is Nick, right?
Nick, yes, Nick Lopez, right? No, not just Nick Lopez. The
Nick Lopez.
The Nick Lopez. That's what I believe. Right.
It's Pro Wrestling Opinion.
And what's his nickname? What do we call him?
The Knight that runs the site.
The Knight that runs the site, aka the CO, aka the man that runs PWO. Basically, the brains and the master. Basically, the brainchild of the Nick Lopez for PWO. But he's the one that pretty much sets up the site. He gives you like the most up to date, news and everything like that on everything. Pretty much what's going on and all that stuff. Pretty much, if you were gonna find out one thing, any kind of reviews or anything like that, any kind of up to date kind of content, any kind of commentary like stand by, play by play, he will be able to give it to you 100%. And this will be a point where it's gonna be like,
You did mention that it's segment by segment, right?
Yes, I forgot that. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, it is segment by segment. So segment by segment, up to date, word for word. It's like, you're picturing everything.
It's not really up to date because he explained what happened.
Yeah, so of course,
He's getting there.
Yeah, when we get, he's getting there. But to make a long story short, but maybe someday we'll have him on. And we'll discuss that pretty much how that's gonna
Well,
work out.
we always do have him for the topic shows and like random pop-ins, but I doubt he could do shoots for a while.
Definitely. That's right. But I mean, in the near future, definitely stay tuned for that. That could happen. You never know. So stay tuned for that. But also, well, you're talking about these news, right? So what did you hear so far about? I heard. I think it was about something about NXT.
Yes, there will be 5 names coming to NXT by the summer.
Really? What are these names?
Kyle O'Reilly, Leo
Man,
Rush, Gunner, Crazy Steve,
Donner.
and Donovan Dijak.
Yes, right. I heard. Well,
With the
that's a
quickest
hell
one
of a
being
lineup.
the quickest one will be Crazy Steve. They said.
Yeah. Let's start about Crazy Steve. So of course, I think it was. What did you hear so far about that? Was it It
It's
just
basically
broke out.
it's basically set in stone. The deal. He just has to pass the
Was it,
physical, same as Gunner.
and so it's gonna be immediate, like right after you finish TNA, or
He's already done
he's already done with TNA.
because Impact is now live.
Damn. So WWE really did put a play on the whole Decay situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And then who else?
They said
And
Gunner,
what about this guy, the Diamond Dynavac? What was the John Dynavac? What Dynavac?
Donovan Dijak.
Diamond Dijak. What's his whole deal with that?
Well, just how I said, Crazy Steve is basically set in stone. Just has to pass the physical. Same thing as with Gunner from TNA.
Right.
They're basically just waiting to pass the physical, and they'll be here probably within the next month.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's interesting. Do you
Oh,
feel like?
and there's another name I forgot.
Yes. Yeah. Let us know.
This gentleman's contract ends next week.
Right.
With Ring of Honor.
Really?
Everyone knows him. He's the leader of the Bullet Club. It's Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, baby, the first 3-time ROH champ. And I think, well, what did I seen something on Facebook you posted? He said something about how he's supposedly he said that he would like to start off his WWE run in
NXT.
was it only NXT, right? He wouldn't like to do it anywhere else, right?
Because he wants to get used to the WWE lifestyle. He wants WWE fans to get used to how he is.
Well, I mean that's true, right? I mean, well, here's one thing. I mean, that's most people like when fans look at certain people, they kind of say, oh, this guy's ready for this guy's ready for that, and then they go by, okay, what's realistic? In reality, it's very rare if you have some stars that will be on the main roster, and it's very rare if you have some people that don't, right?
I can name one. I can name one who started on the main roster.
Really?
The phenomenal one.
That's right. But it's like, like, what do you feel makes AJ a special case? Would you have liked to seen AJ on NXT?
To be honest, no.
Really? Why not?
Because he basically was in WWE for a short amount of time. He knows the whole lifestyle because he basically knows everyone there before he came into WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So he's basically just waiting. He was ready to go.
Mm-hmm. So you feel like he's all ready. But then what about these other guys that are, that
my personal opinion, he's the best in the world.
Yeah, that's right.
My personal opinion,
I mean,
he's the best in the world.
I mean, look at guys like Kevin Owens or the Christopher Daniels. These guys, if they were ever trying come to the WWE, it's kind of hard. They're 15-year, 16-year veterans, but the problem is it's always like, okay, are they ready? Are they ready? Will they fight the WWE lifestyle? And I think we spoke about this last year when it was the Royal Rumble times coming around. The rumors were swirling, and the next thing you know,
which I was right about AJ, by the way.
Yeah, you're right about AJ. Like I said, yeah. And then I was fully convinced that that's not gonna happen because they said that it's not gonna happen because they're not having him ready. But then when you see people like like AJ, I guess the problem is with AJ he's able to adapt very quickly. They call people like what do you call it they call people like Finn Balor the chameleon of wrestling, right?
Oh, he could adapt
And
to
then,
anything.
well, yeah, I think well he did that pretty well though. I mean, he went to Japan, did perfect. He went all over Europe. He fought that style perfectly, and now now you see him in WWE. He's finding the WWE style perfectly. He's a perfect fit. He's basically their bread and butter right now. He's like the biggest like name in wrestling right now.
And I love when he pulls out the demon.
Yep, that's right. And I think that's money right there. Kids see that, they want to become that. Adults see that, they're like, damn, this guy has like another personality.
That's like going back to the story I said for Halloween.
Yeah.
This kid dressed up in full Demon King attire.
That's right. That's right. I think we spoke about this on the show and everything. It was like, of course, it's always, it's always interesting to see the influence of these guys and everything. But let's talk about basically these names right here. Crazy Steve. Do you feel like there's a motive with that? Do they want to kind of like
Sanity.
do they want insanity, or do you feel like with Wyatt's
Sanity. He's the perfect fit.
sanity? That's right. Yeah.
Because they kind of need that one high flyer.
Uh-huh.
Because if you think about it, they have, I know his Big Damo, but his name is Killian Dane, the powerhouse.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You have Alexander Wolf, who's like the brawler.
Yep.
EY, who's just EY.
Yep.
There's nothing you can really say. It's Eric Young.
And you got Nick. Yeah, Eric Young is just Eric Young. He's cool. And then of course you got Nikki Cross, who's pretty interesting. And then
who's the female of the group. So
who's basically
they basically have everything except for the high flyer.
Yeah, pretty much the high flyer, all that stuff. But it kind of brings you back to light to say, okay, do you feel like they're kind of going towards making more of these, like for example, Sanity and Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family? Do you feel like they're kind of going for this one kind of thing where they're focusing on this one thing, where it's like a renegade heel that's
Going my personal opinion, what I think they should do is bring up Sanity, just like a short span, and then feud with a newly formed Wyatt family.
Yep, that's right.
I think that would be gold.
Yep, that definitely would. But I mean, do you feel like they go for a certain look now with all these guys, or do you feel like it's all Triple H just looking at these guys saying, "Hey, these guys display a lot of talent in their promos and everything. They're artistic. Let's get them."
My personal opinion, I think Triple H is trying to make a new WWE. He's not going for the bodybuilder type thing like Vince is obsessed with. He's going for, the fans really think this guy is good. Let me go watch some tape. Watch his tape. Yeah, perfect example. This dude, Triple H, flew to Japan, basically handed Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. He handed these guys contracts. He flew to Japan for these guys.
Yep.
Triple H flew to China to get this dude who was in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Right.
I forgot his name. He flew to China to sign this guy. He flew to India to get the Bollywood boys.
Yep.
Triple H doesn't care how you look. If you're good on the mic, not even good, if you're decent on the mic, he can work with you to get better.
Yeah.
He goes by pure talent.
That's right. I mean, especially now, he's going to Dubai. He's going to he's going to Hong Kong. He's going everywhere. And he himself was going there and scouting these talents. It's not like where it's like where Vince was like, okay, you know what, let's send JR here, let's send JR there. No, it's like
Triple H is taking time out of his busy schedule to go get people.
That jet is like his best friend, literally. And it's like, but I mean, it's kind of crazy, It's pretty good for the business, though. When you say it's kind of see that. So
in the words of Triple H, it's best for business.
Definitely, that's right. Best way to put it. But what about well, you brought up Bolly Boys. Let's talk about this whole thing with Jinder Mahal and the quote unquote now the Singh brothers, and this whole thing with Orton and the WWE title picture. What do you feel about this?
I fucking love it.
Really? I mean, I'm pretty biased. My family's from India, so I love it too. It's like, you know what?
My personal opinion.
Publicity for us.
I like this.
Yep. But doesn't it remind you of like JBL and stuff?
Well, if you remember, about 8 years ago, maybe 9 years, when Orton was champ, he feuded with Jinder Mahal for the championship.
Yep.
So it's kind of
That's right.
like, it's like deja vu.
Yeah, that's right. It's like payback's a bitch.
But now Jinder is, in the words of Taz in the Taz show, I'm giving full credit to I'm giving full credit to the Taz show, by the way. So no copyright infringements.
And you don't want to get choked out by Taz either, right?
I could deal with you getting choked out. I don't want to get suplexed.
Oh hell no, he's gonna fuck you up. Give me that. How he fucks anybody.
In the words of Taz, Jinder Mahal right now is over like Rover.
That's right. I think it's the fact that there's a necessity to it. Because at this point, there's no real heel. There's no legitimate heel on SmackDown. That was one of the reasons. Another reason I think, which
the only true heel besides Kevin Owens on SmackDown is probably Baron Corbin.
But I think
Corbin's like the only heel, like real heel. Because you figure,
yeah, legitimate people boo him and everything. Yeah.
Because if you think about it, fans now, they cheer for the heels and they boo for the faces. So I think the only true heel is Baron Corbin. Because as we're called the internet marks, we cheer for the people who don't deserve to get cheered for, and we boo the people who don't deserve to get booed. So we don't care. We cheer for Owens. We cheer for Brock Lesnar. We cheer for all these heels that are amazing because we know real talent. Like, Sal, your opinion. You like Brock? I think we're having technical difficulties right now. So just give him a minute. Until then, I will now plug sites. For the fan. What was that? Sal.
Put him as a heel all they want. But I think WWE is not getting the desired response, which is they want to have this guy be booed and everything like a legitimate heel. But the problem is,
who are you talking about?
With AJ.
Oh, AJ, he's over. And I have to say it again. Sorry, Taz. I'm going to be stealing your phrase for a majority of the show. AJ's over like Rover.
That's right. Over like Rover, right? That's right. I mean, it's well. Do you feel like? Well, I heard the biggest criticism was this. Jinder Mahal, the reason he's getting the push also, would you agree with this? The reason that he's getting the push is because he has his figure right now. Because, of course, when you look at his figure and everything, he gained a lot of muscle. Like, he leaned out. It's crazy. Like, he's ripped.
According to Ryback, because, Ryback is, like, the brains behind everything.
Yeah.
He's the brains behind everything. He convinced Jinder Mahal to get in shape. And he's not using steroids.
Yeah, he's not. From what I heard, he's not really using steroids. But there's always like all kinds of, like I'm speaking as a health and fitness professional. There's people looking at, like I've seen videos and everything. People are saying that. I mean, I've also looked, into it kind of. They say the more vascular, that means if you have veins and stuff, that's an indication if you're taking steroids. So I mean, if you see Jinder right now, he's all vascular and everything. He has all these veins popping out.
He's all veins.
Yeah, he's all veins. And then people look like his back looks like. I mean, his whole like chest and his upper body area looks like a freaking roadmap. But this guy, people just accuse him of saying that. It's kind of like, whoa, that's kind of fucked up. But I mean, it's perfect grounds to make him a heel. Like I'd say, you know what? If you're accusing me of steroids, that's an honor. I'd say, you know what? I'll take that. No problem. I'm honored. I'm happy about that.
Well, in your opinion, not being biased or nothing, do you think he is?
It's hard to say. I mean, I feel like he's using something. He's got to be using some kind of supplement. He's not doing it by himself. Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. I mean, I've seen him on, I'm following him on Instagram, because I'm like a fitness guy. So I was, checking out, I usually check out fitness people and everything, like, see what's going on. And he's taking supplements, so that's for sure. But here's the thing: like, let's say let's look back at UFC 200, where, for example, Brock Lesnar and John Jones, they had all these kind of allegations of them taking steroids. What it really came down to at the end of the day
Oh, Jones
was they
was.
took
I don't care. Jones is juicing.
Jones was juicing.
I don't
Well,
care. That motherfucker is juicing.
That's right. I mean, that's the thing. Many people say that people juice and things like that. The problem is, it's hard to say because what happens is you take a tainted supplement. What is this called? A tainted supplement. That means you're taking something that has something else inside of it that will show positive in a drug test. So it has
CVS.
it has ingredients similar to what a steroid, let's say performance enhancing drug has. So that's why they have markers and stuff and all this BS. Like, long story short, they just have these kind of things to say, okay, this is an indicator of you're taking something that is going to help your performance, but it's like cheating.
It's
And then
really
I
not,
guess
though.
it shows up, and it shows up. Yeah, that it does. I mean, it gives you if it's going to give you an edge, it's going to say, okay, you took this, and it helps you.
Isn't that what what's her face is using to name who will not be said? The redheaded bitch.
Oh,
Isn't that what she was supposed to be taking?
supposedly she was taking a drug that helps kids,
ADHD.
Kids that have ADHD or students, doctoral students that have freaking problems studying for a test or whatever after a long night, focus on the exam the next day, like that kind of stuff. They're taking that kind of stuff.
But she was also supposed to be taking steroids too. Well, the one that you were explaining.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this then. So let's analyze Eva Marie. She doesn't have much of a brain, right? We can both agree on that, right?
Well, let's see. Let's analyze her right now. Fake boobs, fake ass, fake body, fake hair.
Yeah. I think that's all qualifications for for her being a dumb bitch, right?
Yeah.
Or being a dumbass.
The one good thing she did do, she introduced us to Mandy Rose, who is actually very talented.
Yeah. Mandy Rose, I gotta say, yeah, she's got something, but
she has potential to be a great, I'm gonna say it, wrestler.
Well, we gotta see. She's from New York, right?
I think she's from Long Island. I'm not too sure. To be honest, I'm not too sure. No, she's from New York.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Long Island for some reason.
Because of course she was on Total Divas and everything. Well, speaking of tough, you're talking about Tough Enough competitor, of course. They recently released a couple of people, right?
Only two.
Two? I heard there was more. I think
there was only two. They always release a decent amount, but there's only two that were actually known.
Oh, really?
The two were. His real name is Josh Brandy, I think. I could be wrong with the pronunciation of the last name.
Yeah.
But he went by the name ZZ. He was pretty big. He's like 6'6", pretty broad.
Yeah. The Yeti. They call him the Yeti, right?
Yeah. And then the other one was Andrea DeMarco, who's an announcer. Who actually knows her stuff about wrestling.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about, of course, releases. Let's talk about the most controversial thing right now going on in wrestling. JBL, the Mauro Ranallo situation. What do you feel about this whole?
I'm Team Mauro.
Really?
You cannot, even if you're joking around or not, you don't bully people who have what he has.
Yeah, I mean, well, of course, for those of you that know, so of course it started with Justin Roberts basically releasing a book, and it was like a tell-all. And basically, he was talking about the whole wrestling business, being all this and being all that. And I guess, it was a whole kind of deal because it was like, holy shit, it's like,
oh, you're talking about the thing with the passport?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Pretty much.
JBL is a fucked up individual.
That was really messed up. I mean, rib is one thing. To rib someone, that's something. But to actually go ahead and take it that far to the point where it's like, oh my god,
the person possibly can't get on a plane.
Can't get on a plane, or has lost his bags. He's stranded. That's kind of fucked up.
Understand if you do like stupid little shit, like haha, that's funny. Yeah. That's fine if it's nothing major that could affect this person. Like if you're gonna tell someone, oh, go, for example, hey Sal, go take Nick's passport so he can't travel with us to the next town, the next country to do our next podcast.
Yeah.
Like that's fucked up.
You're fucking with people's money like that. Yeah, it's not right. I mean, and also for the profession and the career and everything like that.
Like, understand you're a wrestler. You make a shitload of money. $120 is nothing for a passport. But for someone like me, you, and Nick, we're working fucking, like, don't take us the wrong way, any company that we work for, we're working fucking low-end jobs to try and survive in New York.
That's right. That's right. I mean,
we try to make sure our last dollar lasts until our next paycheck.
Right.
It's hard living in fucking New York.
Yeah, and then I mean, it's not less. I mean, look at Justin Roberts, who's dealt with a lot of stuff. You know, he has stories. He's a reputable source, reputable guy. He's been there since way back.
Was he a Tough Enough guy?
I think he tried out a couple of times, from what I understand, but he didn't make it. I think. But I guess that's when he got the role. It's like a Josh Matthews situation. When Josh Matthews was there,
he actually did make it though.
He did make it, and then he ended up flopping, and they just offered him a job as an announcer. But
now he's the best fucking heel in Impact Wrestling. I love his fucking character.
This would be Paul Heyman of Lashley. Well, I mean, let's talk about that too. TNA. So the whole big thing.
By the way, props to Taz for calling that. He said Josh Matthews should side with Bobby Lashley because Lashley needs that mouthpiece, basically.
It's fresh. I think it's good. It seems like kind of like an advocate Paul Heyman kind of thing, but he's not really Paul Heyman. It's like an annoying kind of how it's like an announcer thing where the announcer, like JBL for example, he always sides with the heels. Of course, there's always got to be that one announcer that sides with the heels, and then there's one announcer that kind of takes the side of the faces and everything, and it's all just and right and all that stuff. And it's fresh. I think it's right. It's right to do. It's a good step. It kind of refreshing Josh Matthews' career. It also brought up Lashley, because now Lashley, of course, now it makes him more validated.
Even though Lashley is the biggest heel wrestler right now.
Yeah, that's right. And I gotta say, I gotta be honest. Ever since this whole thing with TNA, I'm not talking about his first run. Like now, recently, this from like last year till now, he really has stepped his game up as a wrestler now, as a performer.
Who, Lash?
And I think everybody's happy for him.
Who, Lash?
Lashley, yeah.
Oh, he's improved so much.
Ever since he went to, ever since his run in WWE to his first run in TNA, which it was like,
not even that. Since he left WWE, he's become so much better because they're actually using him to his full potential.
Yeah.
Because
I think
if you think about it, what was his biggest moment in WWE? Beating Umaga?
Yeah. Beating Umaga at WrestleMania, probably facing John Cena and losing to him, which was pointless. Yeah, that was retarded. And but here's the thing. I mean, it makes sense to make him heel. Has WWE ever done that where they've made this guy heel? No, they've never done that. Why? Because
he's always a face.
Yeah, because they always looked at him as, okay, this guy is a he's the face of a company. He has the look and everything like that.
To be 100% honest, I think he deserved to be like the champ.
Yeah.
In WWE.
Right. Yeah. Gotten the world title, but it's like it's better for him now. He's in the Indies and things like that. What I think is also good for him too now is the fact that he's not in MMA now. Because if you saw his first run in TNA,
he does do MMA still though.
But is he still active?
Yeah, but he fights like once a year.
Yep. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's kind of like where back then. I mean, when he was in TNA with I think when he first came out to TNA. It was like a whole thing of, this guy, he's an MMA fighter and wrestler, and then Dixie was like, oh, I want to see him hold the TNA belt and the MMA belt on each shoulder, his dad. And it's like, really?
He did.
He did?
Yep.
Oh, TNA belt and the MMA belt?
He had the TNA world title on the right shoulder and the, whatever the hell it is, Bellator
MMA?
The company that no one gives a fuck about.
The UFC, 99-cent store copy of UFC, right?
Basically, on the left shoulder.
Uh-huh. Oh, really? I mean, it's kind of like that's interesting. I mean, it's kind of like it's good to see stars excel.
Well, you won't be able to find it because there's no TNA network.
Oh, right.
Sorry for that little cheap pop. But do you know where you could possibly see it though, besides YouTube?
Wait, is this plug time? Has to be plug time, right?
I think it's the perfect setup.
Perfect time. Well, actually, matter of fact, I hear a tag.
Do you think that was the perfect setup though?
That was a perfect setup. And I think it's perfect to end it off with the tagline, right?
Well, I'm gonna say continue the sentence and then I'll tagline time it.
All right.
Where you could read about Lashley holding the TNA World title on the right shoulder and the Bellator Heavyweight title on the left shoulder, you could read about it at ProWrestlingOpinion.com.
Right. PWO, 3 letters, but there's a tagline, right? I'm still trying to wait for it. Let me get a drum roll right here.
Sal, what time is it?
Is it that time?
Well, I'm looking at my cable box and it says 9:59, but that's not the time I'm looking for.
No. We're not looking for that time. We're looking for another time.
And I'm not looking for the time it is on the West Coast.
It's tagline time, bro. Tagline time. There's no time zones. There's no GMT. It's tagline time, right?
Well, the tagline for ProWrestlingOpinion.com is
WO.
Reading is fundamental. Reading about wrestling puts you over.
You heard it here, folks. That's how it is. Exactly. I mean, it's kind of like, of course, we always talk about PWO, reputable site. Go on there. The guy that runs the site.
No, it's not the guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the guy that runs the site. It's the Knight that runs the site.
It's the Nick Lopez.
The Knight that runs the site.
The Knight that runs the site. You get the most reputable source, in all of professional wrestling. I always bring up the classic example. I'm stuck in class.
Oh, the story.
Yeah, I gotta tell everybody about this. So
the story.
Yeah, I always gotta tell them. Yeah, I always gotta bring this up. Best way to kind of talk about PWO. Sit in the middle of class. You get distracted, and you kind of think, damn, I want to leave early. Damn, I got a whole bunch of shit to do. This lady keeps talking. Fuck, I'm bored as fuck.
Why know you?
And then next thing
you were probably wondering what happened on Lucha Underground.
Definitely. All the time it runs through my mind, and I'm always thinking, damn, what happened in Lucha Underground? So then next thing you know, I just pull up PWO on my laptop right there as I'm kind of doing it. My teacher thinks that I'm looking through the PowerPoint. Well, I'm not. And the next thing you know, look up PWO, Pro Wrestling Opinion, and see the whole article. Everything about that happened about that recent episode of Lucha Underground, and I get to see exactly what happened. I pictured it exactly in my head as I'm daydreaming in class without watching the whole episode. Because obviously, if I watch the episode, I'm gonna get caught. I'm gonna be like, why the fuck you watching Lucha Underground while we're trying to do this class? I'm like, damn. So I can't do that.
Well, your professor will probably like, what the hell is this shit?
Yeah.
Teachers only know WWE.
That's right. And they're probably gonna ask, like, who the fuck, like, why the fuck are you distracted in my class? And then, it's like a whole issue. So to prevent all that shit from happening, go to PWO.
The best wrestling site on the world.
That's right. And just go to stay in school, listen to your professors, stick in school, That's always important.
Oh, yeah, we're pro school.
That's
we
right.
want all our fans to stay in school.
Stay in school,
do
kids.
the best you can.
That's right. Indeed. Well, I mean, we're talking, of course, I was about to pull a Josh Matthews plug. Fuck. We can't do that now. What else was going on?
Oh my God, there's a camera in my house. There's also cameras in the Big Brother house, which you can watch on Pop TV after Impact Wrestling.
Yep. That's right. Trying to think. What else happened so far? What about Braun Strowman? Let's talk about Braun Strowman.
He deserves a fucking title.
Braun Strowman deserves a title.
Before 2017 ends, this isn't even me going through Triple H's files or nothing. I'm spoiling.
Really?
Braun will have a title before the year ends.
It'll happen. I believe that.
As Paul Heyman says, it's not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
Spoiler. Really? So you're confident he's going to win a title?
Braun will have a title on his shoulder before this year is over.
Well, what are you hearing about this whole setup for Brock Lesnar. Well, let's talk about the world title picture on Raw. So of course, Raw has no world title. Basically, they're juggling
No,
around the title.
it has a title. It's just not present.
It's basically circling around the universe. For all you Marvel fans, basically Thanos is still in his freaking in his little chair with the glove, taunting that shit, and it's like he's waiting for the next challenge,
Well,
and it's like
we all know who Vince and Kevin Dunn want as champion,
yep,
so they could have their little jerk fest going.
yep, a little sweaty, oily, muscular man by the name of or little gentleman name is
The Reigns, that is Roman.
the Reigns as Roman or the brother or the younger brother of the Rosie who recently passed. God rest her soul.
Rest in peace, Rosie.
Rest in peace, Rosie. Indeed, it's shocking, but nonetheless, I mean that's it's. But do you feel like he's ready? Do you feel like Braun is ready?
Oh, without a doubt.
Do you feel like he's ready, especially now after this whole kind of build up?
Without a doubt, he's ready.
Oh, really? I mean, a couple months ago, I think we agreed that it wasn't, he wasn't ready. We felt like, he still needed a lot more time to process stuff. He's not, able
Because we
to.
all thought he was just like the typical big man.
Yeah.
Go in, have a
he's
3-minute squash match, and that's it.
Yeah. I think we can all agree that he passed that. He surpassed that flying colors. No lie. He's done very good.
Everyone knows how I am, though.
Yeah.
I think he still has to work on the mic. That's it. Not that much. Just a little more work on the mic.
I mean, name a big guy that has, good mic skills. You really can't.
I can name one right now that's active.
Who?
Big Cass.
Well, Big Cass has a catchphrase, right?
Big Cass is the only exception to the big man who can't speak.
Well, I think it's an enabler. I think it's an enabler situation. You know how like Paul Heyman has, Brock Lesnar has Paul Heyman as an enabler. Enzo is his enabler. Enzo is the peanut butter to his jelly, pretty much.
That is true.
It's not a good fit. Well, let me ask you this then: do you feel like they're gonna separate Enzo and Cass next draft?
Possibly.
Do you think it's gonna be good for them? I don't think it's gonna be good though.
It's gonna work in Cass's favor.
Really? But I mean, it's gonna go for Cass, of course. But especially like let's look at this past week's Raw. Basically, what happened was it was a 6-man tag, right? And then what was it? It was originally supposed to be Big Cass and Enzo.
It was supposed to be Enzo, Cass, and Seth versus the Club and Joe.
Yeah. And that didn't happen, of course, because supposedly
Enzo got fucking demolished.
Yeah, supposedly. And do you feel like it's like a thing where it's like it kind of brings you back to that hatred thing, right? Don't you think? Because of course, I think we all know that Vince isn't high on Enzo. The whole office, they don't like him. I bet Kevin Dunn doesn't even like Enzo. He really doesn't think that, okay, he offers a lot of things and everything like that. But they look straight through and see Cass and be like, oh, Cass.
Well, there were rumors that no one wanted Enzo even there. They wanted to release him.
Yeah, I thought that he was on danger for being released, and I guess.
But Triple H sees something. Triple H sees something in him, and I think it's just the mic skills.
Yeah, I think it's the mic skills for sure. He has a lot of charisma. If they release him, it's a very sad day in WWE.
What they should do is take him off wrestling and just make him Cass's manager.
I think that's true. I mean, but I also feel like he can be a world champion. I honestly believe that he can be a world champion. Danny Bryan did it. Seth did it. CM Punk did it. Why can't he do it?
Oh, you said the name.
Why not?
You said the name.
Well, CM Punk. Well, I don't know. We talk about CM Punk and her whole story with Big E.
Oh, that was funny.
That was hilarious. I was like, wow, man, that's crazy.
That was hilarious.
It was like a rib or something?
Yes, because he like threw his arm out and accidentally hit her in the chest.
Oh,
and
God.
she was in a lot of pain because she's not that small. No, I mean, wow. She is small and he's fucking huge.
Right.
So she's basically was playing a joke on him, saying, oh, my doctor said I have 2 broken ribs. I can't breathe properly from my chest anymore. He's like, oh my God, are you serious? She's like, no, I'm just joking with you. But that was probably one of the funniest things I ever read. By the way, go pick up AJ Lee's book. I heard it's amazing. It's the #1 in a New York Times bestseller. But basically, we all know that she's like a big jokester, and this just proved that she has a comedy side. 'Cause actually, you could read a little story I wrote about her on Nick's site, ProWrestlingOpinion.com. If you scroll down, I believe you just type in AJ Lee, and it'll pop up. I wrote a little article about her retiring. I think it was maybe 2-3 years ago. You can also check it out on our Twitter page at RSN Podcast. You can check it out on our Facebook page. Just type in the RSN Wrestling Podcast. You can type it on Google. You'll find it because we run shit. So you just type in RSN Podcast, and it will come up on Google because we're just that amazing. No one could touch us. Well, as I was saying before about the NXT signings, that Donovan Dijak, I think he's going to be a great addition to the NXT roster because I think he won like the ROH tournament or something, like Rising Stars tournament. He won that, and then he got a big push. But I don't know why he left the company. I guess they weren't pushing him the way that he wanted to be pushed. So he basically just left the company.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Donovan Dijak.
Diamond Dijak. I mean, well, Diamond Dijak. I mean, what's he most famous for? Of course, like he's in the Indies, right? Of course.
Well, as I was saying before, you came back to the fans. He won the ROH, like the Rising Stars tournament or something. And he won that. He got a very big push because he won that. And I guess he wasn't getting like the big push that he actually wanted.
Or probably the money, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Either, probably one or the other. So he probably got an offer from Triple H.
Yep.
I can probably see this whole meeting going like right now.
Yeah.
If you sign with us, you could get a title from NXT within a year.
Yep. Once you're working for the WWE.
To be honest, I don't think he's going to be in NXT that long because he has that look.
Really? Well,
Dijak has that look.
I mean, they have Aleister Black. Of course, you see that whole thing right there.
Oh my God, he's the best fucking signing.
Really?
Best fucking signing in the past year.
Really? Yeah, he's
holy
really
shit. He's the fucking man.
He's an interesting character, though.
He won a match in literally 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking that kick, spinning roundhouse kick to the guy's mouth.
He was like, holy fuck. I was surprised. I was like, God damn, really? Like, this guy is crazy. And
when I heard Triple H sign, I know him as Tommy End from Japan and all that. The minute I heard them say Tommy End is signed to NXT, I'm like, this is it. He's set. He's set. I'm just happy that they basically had him keep his character. They just changed his name.
Yep.
Which I actually like Aleister Black better. I think it's a great name.
That's right. I think it's also, well, I mean, we're talking about, of course, WWE maintaining gimmicks. Look at Joe. Look at Eddie. Look at Rude.
Just throwing this out there, by the way.
Yeah.
God rest his soul, Dusty Rhodes. He would have loved Aleister Black.
Yeah.
He would have loved Aleister Black.
That's right. Yeah. He definitely would have.
We miss you, Dusty.
Definitely. I mean, it's kind of like, I think it's kind of like this. If you're going to bring a star, make sure you maintain his gimmick. Look at all the people in in the Indies right now. Like old WWE wrestlers. The reason why they're getting all those, they're drawing money to events and everything is because they have a following. They have a previous gimmick that they're continuing or they're using in another form. And
Well,
that
Finn Balor, they kept the character. They just changed the name.
that's right. But it's, I mean, it's
Because if you watch his stuff from Japan,
uh
he's the same thing.
pretty much yeah. He's just the same
His
way.
whole dress-up character and all that.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. It's just they changed his name, which is normal.
That's right. Well, I mean,
Because
we're talking,
I think Japan has copyrights,
yeah. I
like
mean,
the
we're
trademark to wow, it's been that long.
definitely. I mean,
Prince Devitt. Wow, it's been that long. I don't remember his name.
yeah. I mean, it's also another fact too that well, we're talking about gimmicks right now. Of course, WWE retaining gimmicks and everything, and retaining likeness and everything. What about Broken Matt Hardy? I'm hearing a lot about that stuff now.
Within the next 2 weeks, so the Broken Hardys will be on TV.
I heard this Monday.
I don't know. They said possibly this Monday, but they're not 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean,
What I personally think they should do,
Mhm.
leave them as the regular Hardys this coming Monday after Payback.
Yeah.
But make like a little vignette, like something happened to them at Payback.
Yeah.
So they're in like a coma on Monday.
Yeah.
And then the following Monday, you bring them as the Broken Hardys.
that's right.
Holy shit! I should be a fucking writer for Raw.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you could. You could. I mean, it's kind of interesting to see that. It's like
That's
WWE.
a better idea than Kevin Dunn has ever had in his whole lifetime.
That's right. It is.
Fuck you, Kevin Dunn.
What I hope is this: if WWE is going to use this, broken gimmick, don't just use it as a catchphrase on a shirt. Because of course, like if you go to WWE event now, the Hardys come out, people say delete, 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 but they don't really know the true meaning of that. Because of course, most of the people don't watch TNA.
The only ones that might are the internet marks, such as me, you, Nick.
Basically, everybody that Kevin Dunn hates and despises. So Kevin Dunn.
Kevin Dunn cannot stand us right now.
We love you.
I fucking hate you, Kevin Dunn.
He's a fucking little fucking. But it's like
beaver-looking motherfucker.
Freaking beaver-looking ass motherfucker. But still, it's kind of like it's like if WWE is gonna use this kind of thing, if they're gonna use his likeness, use it in the best way possible. If they could just go ahead and use
use it properly.
Yeah, if they're gonna shoot like videos and everything, it shouldn't be that night. It shouldn't be done like
let Matt Hardy
on that
write.
stupid kind of. Yeah, make it as a cinematic thing. But I think what happened is they really can't do that because from what I'm hearing, now that WWE has his kind of likeness and everything, they own it. He can't use it. So pretty much it's under their control. It's not under his control.
I think they might come to an agreement though to let Matt Hardy use it the way he's used to using it.
I hope, because it's kind of like the same thing with like the NWO, let's say, in WWE. You saw how that worked out. That failed terribly, and I was like, really, like you guys really did kind of do it. I mean, by the time they they were trying to promote everything, it was already dead. But it was like
I'll give you one guess who wrote it probably.
Who else do you think?
Does that guy's name have the initials KD? And I'm not talking about Kevin Durant.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I know what he's talking about, right?
Yeah,
that's him. I think he's also a psychic. He's a psychic. He has a psychic too. You know that, right? Well, actually, he is a psychic, but there's actually the main guy too.
Yeah, he's the sidekick.
Yeah, he's a psychic, but.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon, yeah. McMahon, yeah. Basically, if WWE is really gonna try to use this as like a marketing thing, that's one thing. But if they're gonna use it as like a full blown thing, let Matt Hardy just get the rights to it. Let him use it in the best way. Give him the freedom to use it. Look at like for example, Finn. Look at Joe. They let these guys retain their gimmicks, retain their characters, and look what they're doing. Look at Roode, for example. He is glorious, right? We can all agree on that, right?
Glorious.
Indeed. But it's like the reason why he's glorious is because they retained his gimmick, and they basically put their own spin on it. But let me ask you this: do you feel like WWE can actually put their own spin on the whole Broken Hardy thing?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to do that, right?
Well, there's one thing, since we're talking about the Hardys, there's always one team that he always made fun of, the Bucks of Youth.
Yeah.
Well, the Bucks of Youth.
Yeah.
The Cleaner, Kenny Omega.
Uh-huh.
Bullet Club, The Elite, the Elite.
Yeah.
signed a deal with
Hot Top.
Hot Topic, Bullet Club merchandise, the Elite merchandise, the Young Bucks merchandise, and Kenny Omega's merchandise will now be sold at your local Hot Topic.
Right? That's a big deal, though. It's kind of like the New Day, where they got this whole ice cream deal and the fucking cereal and all that stuff with, I think, Fathead.
Well, this is better.
Yeah. I mean, this is good for them. I mean, this is pretty big news, though. This is like New Day.
This is actually the first time a wrestler has signed with a company outside of a wrestling company.
That's right. And it's an interesting thing to see that goes leaps and bounds now. But well, do you think? What do you feel about the whole signing situation? Do you feel like they're gonna sign on?
What do you mean?
Do you feel like they're gonna sign on to WWE soon?
Oh no, not at all.
Not at all.
The Young Bucks said they don't want to be watered down.
That sucks. Yeah.
And
Unless
Kenny even said himself, "I want to be the legend that never signs with the big company."
That's right. But I think it's also the fact that this guy, if they give him the reins to kind of do his own thing, then maybe it can be a success. Look at for example, and that's where Triple H comes into effect. I think the reason why Samoa Joe can do what he can do, Kevin Owens can do what he can do,
because they're Triple H guys.
Yeah, AJ can do whatever AJ can do, and not being given another name and all that is because Triple H is paying attention to these things and saying, you know what, fuck it, don't do that, let it stay.
And there's three more that you missed. There's EY, Bobby Roode, and Austin Aries.
Yep. That's right.
Remember, they all came from TNA.
That's right. It's gonna be kind of interesting to see though if WWE ever allows it, especially now with these new signings. Will they allow them to kind of retain their likeness and all that stuff if they've done something? Because you gotta think about it. And I mean, here's also just another disadvantage. Let's say if you get out of WWE, look at Cody Rhodes' case. Cody Rhodes, Ryback. If WWE wants to use that gimmick, I mean, if they want to use that gimmick independently, like when they're wrestling in the Indies or doing a book signing or something, they can't do that.
Only Ryback can.
Yeah, because they use in certain cases like Ryback, where WWE owns the name.
He fucking literally changed his name legally to Ryback.
Yeah.
How stupid can you be?
That's right. Yeah. It's like, really, come on, man. You really just kind of are desperate for the attention to say, you know what?
That's when you take wrestling too far.
That's right. I mean, but in the case of, let's say, Cody Rhodes, which is his real name plus the legacy, WWE won't let him use it. And it's continuing. It's like, really? You won't let me use my name?
What's weird, though, is his name is Cody Rhodes. He can only use Cody. But his wife could use Brandy Rhodes?
Yeah.
Where does that make sense?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. I guess it's all WWE's,
Kevin
it's
Dunn.
all...
Blame Kevin Dunn.
Of course, you already know he's big on that.
He probably has nothing to do with it. I still blame him just because.
It's like, okay, we're not going to use that gimmick, but we're not going to let you use it because, fuck it, Like, really? You're really just going to do that? You're going to be that kind of, petty? And it's another thing, too. This guy had a company, basically, his father helped him, make this company and everything, make WWE what it is. So it's like, really, you're not going to let this guy kind of, do it after he's been disloyal to you? WWE's whole semantic system is all in question. It's like, really, what, where do you guys really lie? Are you guys just about the money? Or are you guys really just about, actually, providing real content and stuff? Which is hard to say.
And to be honest, Cody has done way more in 1 year out of WWE than a lot of people have done in WWE.
Yeah, without WWE, that's the thing. Without WWE, and that's the key. He's gone on Arrow without WWE. Do you see WWE, promoting, him on, let's say, him on Arrow and things like that? No, it was just him. That was all him.
He was on Bound for Glory. He was on Wrestle Kingdom, which he even said himself. Wrestle Kingdom is better than WrestleMania.
That's right. I mean, it's it's kind of like it basically comes down to at the end of the day.
And he's 1/3 of the leader of BC. of the Bullet Club.
But it kind of comes back to the fact that okay, if and it's more prevalent now. Look at Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger, like, he recently quit. Simon Gotch, he I think rather he it depends. He got released by WWE, but he was on his way out too. I mean,
He was
but
on his way
Jack
out because he was friggin' fighting
fighting.
everyone backstage.
Yeah, I mean, there was also the fact that look at it for example. Look at people
Well,
like Carlito.
I think the people who got released by WWE in the past couple months, my personal opinion, Impact should pick them up.
That's right. They should.
I guarantee you can make Simon Gotch big in
That's
Impact. Without a doubt, you could fucking make Jack Swagger the best thing in Impact Wrestling.
Well, basically TNA right now, of course, when they have all these stars, they're definitely going to be able to make money off of them. Because look at Drew McIntyre for example. Speaking of Drew McIntyre,
Who just came back
on NXT. What do you feel about that?
Just throwing this out there.
Huh?
Jinder Mahal's going for the SmackDown title.
Yep.
Drew McIntyre is going for the NXT title.
Yep.
Heath Slater, bring it home, baby. Go for the Raw title. Go big. Get 3MB running the WWE.
All three titles. They're the biggest faction, having all the titles in their hand.
Just remember, he has kids.
Yeah, that's right. He has kids. He got kids to feed.
If you really want to do something big, you get Heath Slater as the Universal Champ. You get Jinder Mahal as the World Heavyweight Champ or whatever SmackDown calls it.
Yeah.
You get Drew McIntyre as the friggin' NXT Champ. Then you bring Drew up. You get Heath and Drew as the Raw Tag Team Champs. You get Drew and Jinder as the SmackDown Tag Team Champs.
Yeah.
They're really running the show then.
And how fuck it, just give them the women's titles too, just because
Why the fuck not?
Why the fuck not? Exactly, intergender competition. Well,
boom.
Yeah, that's right. What about intergender competition? This whole intergender match with Becky Lynch,
and Ellsworth. I think it's fucking stupid, to be honest.
Stupid, really? Why not?
There's gonna be no offense for James.
It can happen. You never know. Think about it. This is the same guy that beat AJ Styles 3 times?
Yeah, but this is also a company that doesn't promote hitting women.
That's right.
This is the PG era. This is the PG era. Remember?
But wouldn't it be satisfying to see? Let's say, wouldn't it be satisfying to see James Ellsworth get a beating, especially what he's doing now with Carmelo and all that stuff? I guess that's why they're just trying to promote that. I think it's more about that than it is about the whole intergender thing. Because if they really want an intergender match, it could be things like Sasha Banks.
Since you brought up Carmella, she was actually supposed to go to Raw in the Superstar Shakeup.
I think she should have.
They were supposed to side her with Enzo and Cass again, but in a last minute decision, they put Mickie James.
Right.
So Carmella was actually very upset with that. Yeah. With not going over to Raw to be with her boyfriend and Enzo.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, she goes out with Big Cass.
This whole shakeup I think really was a flop. I think there's a lot of picks that should have gone.
It benefited some, but it hurt a lot.
That's right.
Like we all knew Miz was leaving. We all knew Sammy was leaving. Because they were basically hinting since January, maybe even before that. They were hinting that they wanted to switch shows. Like the ones that surprised me, Kevin Owens. I was like, what the hell? Why did Owens switch?
Yeah, it was like really.
I thought AJ was gonna switch. So you could do a Bullet Club versus Shield thing.
That's right.
Which I actually thought would have been amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry, the club, not Bullet Club.
Yeah.
WWE doesn't have rights to it.
Right, that's right. It's kind of interesting to see that, though. It's kind of like, really, if you're going to, there's so many picks that could have, could have gone,
Yeah, another one
but
was Charlotte and Alexa
Charlotte was
Bliss
shocked.
swapping.
Charlotte was a shock. But what do you feel about this whole thing with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte basically switching places? In reality, that's basically what it was.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I mean, but people are saying, they don't deserve it. Da da da. This. It's not right. There's a lot more people that are deserving of that opportunity. Give it to them or things like that. I think it's just what it basically comes down to. There's a lot of jealousy and a lot of things of, okay, you know what? We're not gonna have some consistency because it's like, you know what? They're pushing one person over another person. And
I
do you feel
really,
like it's
I
jealousy?
really thought Sasha was gonna jump shows.
That's right. But what do you feel about this Bailey situation? Of course, Bailey versus Alexa Bliss.
You already know who I'm picking to win that, though.
Yep. So here's gonna be a tough one for you. If Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss ever fought, right? What would be your pick?
You're really making me choose.
Yeah. So see, that's the hard part. So I mean, but do you feel like that's ever gonna happen
Yeah, I'd probably say Alexa
as a face or a heel, or both of them are one face, one heel?
as a heel.
Both of them as heels.
No. Sasha as a face. Alexa as the heel.
I feel like Sasha's gonna turn because the way that these things it's gonna happen is like, you know what?
I thought she was
Might as
gonna
well.
turn a while ago.
Yeah, I thought the same. But then
Well,
they told a full 180.
Alexa is gonna be the first woman to hold both shows titles.
Yep, that's pretty much slated. And then of course Charlotte, who was about to hold it, of course, and then she ended up losing it, and that was like a big deal. I was like, oh my god.
All I
But
know is Harley Quinn, my Harley Quinn, is gonna win.
yep. I mean, what about the tag division? So, I think the most surprising thing that came out, the Usos was it Usos? I think versus no American Alpha versus Primo and Epico, the Cologne,
I
and
personally
then
think
basically,
Alpha was gonna jump also
yeah.
because it would have been perfect.
Well, the Colognes won. Yeah,
it would have been perfect. The GM of Raw, Kurt Angle, American Alpha.
yeah,
Sounds familiar.
yeah.
The world's greatest tag team.
That's right. Charlie Haas. All we need is Charlie Haas to come back, and that's it. Or what you can do is kind of like this. Just speaking of the Colognes, bring back Carlito already. Carlito decide with the Colognes.
And Kurt
You
Angle,
don't even have to have a.
and then Kurt Angle sides with American Alpha.
Yeah, I think they should definitely bring back Carlito. Just for shock factor. This guy, why not? This is the same guy that stood up to John Cena both, in
There's the same
kayfabe,
guy.
but
There's
also
the same guy whose bodyguard stabbed John Cena.
quote unquote, yeah, stab John Cena, yeah. But and here's the thing: most people when they talk about wrestling with me, they always look back to that situation and like, oh, that's
Was
fake.
was he
Like,
really stabbed?
he wasn't really stabbed though. That was fake. And it's like,
No
okay,
shit. It's part of the storyline.
that was all storyline, man. We
That's
all
the
know.
way. That's the way you get heat.
That's right. And they like to go ahead and just draw this bullshit like, oh no, it's all bullshit. Like, okay, and wrestling's fake. Wrestling's fake. All right, wrestling's scripted. Wrestling's scripted. Okay. True wrestling vanilla internet marks don't
Um,
follow just for the action. They don't
yeah,
follow.
yeah. Wrestling is scripted,
Yeah.
but what about all these movies that you watch?
Yeah. What about the TV shows? What about this? What about that? Oh, well, okay. Now what? What are you gonna say now? It's still, it's like, come on, man, really. But nonetheless, I mean, if you
Name something that's not scripted.
that's right. Well, let me ask you. Well, let me ask the fans this. We've always talked about fans that wrestling or things like that. There's actually one site where you can go see all these things, right? Basically, if you're ever interested in getting into wrestling, right?
Very nice transition, Sal.
Yes, indeed. And I think we got to wrap this up with the tagline, right? So I think you're the best guy to do that. It's tagline time, I think, right? Once again.
Well, I think you should finish what you were saying before.
Yes.
Before tagline.
Tagline time. Well,
Before tagline, just finish up what you were saying.
I was just gonna say, there's always this one site that you can go to, see pretty much, all things related to wrestling. So if you're not a fan of wrestling, or if you're thinking about going to wrestling, or watching wrestling or things like that, following it, and you're not sure what to see, how to, what's the best wrestler or this, that,
Or
whatever.
if you just want to try and get someone into wrestling, this is the perfect site to do it.
Exactly. And that site's name, of course, 3 letters. That's how we're gonna take from now on. 3 letters. TWO. It's tagline time, brother. All you.
Reading about wrestling. Oh wow, I just messed up. Rewind.
Bosh. You botched.
Reading is fundamental. Reading about wrestling puts you over.
Right there. And if you're still, unsure about wrestling, if you still feel like it's fake or whatever, you can always check out.
This will definitely help you convince someone to become a wrestling fan.
Definitely, just follow with us. Like I said, we'll keep you posted on all the up to date stuff. We'll put you and educate you through all the stuff that's been going on and all that stuff. Posted on that. Of course, you can check us out on our Facebook page. You check us out on YouTube right here, where we have all of our pretty much, all of our different videos and everything like that. You can check that out too. But nonetheless, also you can check out, for your up to date, rumor mill stuff. The first guy to get his hands on it, this guy Rich right here, the big guy.
Before it even hits the fucking mainstream news sites.
Yeah. Before the shit even hits the fan, this guy can go ahead and he points out pretty much what is gonna happen as it's gonna happen. So definitely check that out.
Just tell him how I get all this information.
Well, he has a tunnel, goes straight from Brooklyn all the way to Connecticut, goes into the office of Triple H, Paulo Levesque, I say, goes through his files, leaves a mess because we're from Brooklyn, and then boom, leaks it out to the internet. But nonetheless, we get our ways. This is the Arsenal Wrestling Podcast. We're all wrestling. We spell wrestling. And I think you have one more thing, right? We're wrestling and what was it? We spell wrestling, but I think there's also another thing. We're RSN Podcast. And what was it?
Well, I just wanted to say one thing before we actually close it out.
What?
As you said in the before 2017 even started.
Yeah.
We're a podcast that's not. We're knocking on the door, but we're just not knocking. We're kicking that motherfucker in off the hinges.
Right. That's right. But like I said, we're knocking it down. We're gonna keep coming with new content. Stay tuned. We're gonna have some more stuff coming down. We'll see you guys out.
That's the Mastermind Sal. This is the big guy Rich. We're RSN Podcast. You're not. We're out.
There you go. See you guys out.